You are listening to the Arcade Brothers only on the 4-eyed radio network The Fern.
Hi, this is Kyle from Arcade Bros. If you're like me, you like a little joy in your life. We're proud to present that we are sponsored by America Joy Print Shop. If you need cut vinyl, store lettering, business printing, forms, card magnets, and anything else printing needs, America Joy is the one for you. When you contact America Joy, just tell them the Fern sent you.
But in other news, this is an all-new Arcade Bros, brought to you by the 4i Radio Network, and also our amazing sponsors, such as America Joy Print Shop, the official sponsors of the 4i Radio Network. Business cards, flyers, posters, banners, cut vinyl, car wraps, and more. Visit AmericaJoy.com for more information and tell them the Fern sent you. Also, don't forget about Raven's Designs, illustrations and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com. Also, again, if you did not, because we did not do it, because we never do it, because we like to jazz it up every day of the week, I am Player 1, Steve-O, and as always, Kyle, select your character. Player 2...
Random selection.
Jigglypuff.
Damn it.
Jigglypuff.
Fuck your Pokemon. And also,
me,
apparently, Matt Renfro is just plain awesome.
Yes, he's not
You can
here.
also find us at www.arcade-bros.com, part of the 4i Radio Network. Before we get into all of our craziness, you can find us, listen to the show, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Zune Marketplace, BlackBerry, Podcast, Miro Guide, Mixcloud, Double Twist, Spreaker, and there's another one that Eric added because Eric just has issues with he just can't get over himself.
I just can't get enough.
We're gonna have to have an
Just can't get enough.
intervention with him. But of course we have our special shout outs. So Kyle, without further ado, who has either liked us, follow us, or is now paying attention to the Arcade Bros in the interwebs?
Got a few people. We have only one new like or follower on the Facebook. It is actually an old friend of mine from college, Michael Bocanegra. He has a...
Try saying that 10 times fast.
Michael Bocanegra, Michael Bocanegra, Michael Bocanegra, Michael Bocanegra, Michael Bocanegra.
I just meant the last name, but okay.
Well, he's pretty cool. He does. He actually was one who thought of like Pokemon MMO a long time ago. And they're just...
Pokemon, gotta get an MMO. You made a horrible. This thing looks like it could be gay. It's gonna rape your ass. Rape a man.
Rockman.
Anyways.
So he thought of that a long time ago. He's actually got a video game studio out here as well called Gorilla Head Studios, I believe.
Okay.
What it's called. Something like that. I might be wrong, but
Get a
you
job.
can let me know. Well, it's funny because I was working with them on a game, and then they changed games, and they did another game, and then I was still working on my stuff, so I left.
Oh, okay.
I said, screw you guys. But yeah, thanks for liking us, dude. On Twitter, we have at NeoGeo.
Neo Geo. Go ahead.
We also have at Cinema OTR, at Andrew FDRSBL, at Bro Code Stuff, actually known as the Bro Code. They're pretty funny stuff.
Is that like based off of the Barney Stinson bro code?
I'm not sure. I know it's possibly though. Yeah, I haven't looked into that. At Do You Even Brony Bro, which I think is a new podcast from the 4-eyed Radio Network.
That is correct.
And we have at Jedi Sith Ewok, which is also a new show. Don't steal it, you son of a bitch. From the 4-eyed Radio Network.
Yeah.
And then at AWT Podcast.
All White Tukey podcast.
All White Tukey, which is all.
We have been on the network for a bit. No new shows yet, but we finally got our Twitter account up and running. So yeah,
Definitely follow them,
basically,
like them,
Do You Even Brony Bro was me. I came up during with the socially awkward show. I don't think Eric's too happy, but I'm
still waiting for Cock Talk. I'm still waiting
I'll have
for
to
it.
talk to and
I'm making like 2 roosters.
and also the other show, Moon and Fro in the morning.
Moon and Fro coming at you. We're gonna talk like this, old DJ.
The old time radio time. You saw that
Looks
Kim
like we got some wacky weather.
We got Kim Kardashian not coming into the studio because she has too much of Kanye West up her butt. Yeah, but right.
Cellulite.
Yeah, cellulite. See, it writes itself.
Moon and Moon.
No, it's Moon.
Doesn't work. God damn it.
Because we want a moon.
But then what's
with a
nice
fro on top
is you
of
could
it.
go on vacation and I could jump on sometimes, and it would still be Moon and Fro.
That's the plan.
And then anyone.
And then
can
Aaron can jump on her.
Yeah.
Dad can jump on, so you know.
beat up. See, what are you playing this week?
I just been playing a little bit more Nintendo Remix. I haven't really touched too many new games. And also the Devil May Cry Xbox 360. It's funny, I'm actually playing Devil May Cry. Like, I beat it on the PlayStation 3, and then I got it for the 360, and I'm playing it on Devil Hunter mode.
Devil Hunter.
And to be honest with you, I am not seeing a difficult change in it. The only thing I'm noticing, like, it does take longer for enemies to be destroyed, but I'm leveling up faster, like I'm getting more points, so it's kind of working that. But I'm probably actually going to go back with this one and actually replete levels and get there's keys and all this hidden stuff throughout different levels to upgrade your character. So I'll probably go back and actually do more of that with this game. But yeah, it's a fun game and everything, all that good stuff. So if you have not picked up Devil May Cry, do ahead and do so. Also, if you do have an Xbox One and or PS3, or PS4, I highly recommend, if you have not played the Tomb Raider game that came out last year, they did a redo of it with the beefed up graphics.
Oh, the HD with the new.
Yeah, it's like Lara Croft Ultimate Edition. I don't know, but definitely I would recommend getting that.
Ultimate Frisbee.
That's it's a really fun game. I loved it on the 360. So I most likely, once I get a new system, I'll probably be picking it up again because, like
That's
I said, it's that good. So
it makes you want a game.
What about you, Kyle?
I started playing more Darksiders again, Darksiders 2. I actually played some new Angry Birds, the NSA version, which spies on you.
NSA version, what is that?
What happened was this week, a lot of game companies were coming out saying that they were hacked or like their information was used for spying purposes by the NSA, which is like the big government thing, all the government spying on us. Well, actually, they reported that Angry Birds was being used to spy on its customers, finding out age, sex, race, all that stuff. Well, they've come back and said, no, we weren't. And then what ended up happening was the NSA said, oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't know that we were doing this.
Oh, shit.
So they were like in their systems using their stuff without them even freaking knowing it. So now it's like when you throw the thing and you hit the red bird, he actually looks at you and goes like, put your pants back on. And then you hit the launch him and it's like, oh, God, he knows.
Okay, speaking of Angry Birds, I remember talking to an old coworker of mine. He says the red bird is just one of those throwaway birds, like it's a pissant bird. Like, what is your least favorite bird in that game?
I agree, but they've changed them so much. Like there's a mad scientist version where like the blowing up one is actually electric. The redbird does stuff now, and one of the worst is like there's a specific one for redbird finds feathers or something like that, and when you use them, he like makes little tornadoes that he shoots out. So I think the redbird is a throwaway bird. There's also like an orange bird that I have yet to use. Like I've seen them on the artwork. I've seen them in a couple games where it's like a female version. She's like a little orange one with a big nose. And I don't know what she does because I've never seen her. So for me, like, you're the throwaway bird because you're there, and I have no clue what you do. So if anyone knows, hashtag Get Gaming, the bird does this, and like share a photo or whatever. Because I have yet to get that far in the game or discover what the stupid bird does. So, but I've been playing that. Darksiders is great. I upgraded. What was cool is because I downloaded the expansion packs and things. I find there's this weird feature in the game where there's like a mailbox, like you're deaf. Oh, I gotta check my mail. So you go and there's like this like giant skull thing, and you check your mail. So when I did, they sent me stuff. They sent me a whole suit of armor. It's called the Maker's armor, and it's basically like literally like it looks like those these giant creatures like made them for you.
Oh, okay.
Pretty wicked stuff. So I'm wearing mostly that right now because most of the stuff I had was pretty basic. So I'm wearing that, running around. I'm on the horse, and we're heading towards. We just made it to the Tree of Life. Found out that what's really cool is though there's in the storyline, not to spoil it for anyone, but they're called the Nephilim, and that's basically like in a biblical text where basically before man and after the angels and demons, there was a group of race called the Nephilim, and they're actually more like giants. That's actually what David and the giant story about him where he killed the giant with the one rock and stuff. That giant was supposed to be like a Nephilim, like one of these like lost creatures from between God and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what you are, and it talks more, getting into more in depth about that. More in depth about death, too. Like, it actually came with a really cool story arc that I'm like, Wow, that's pretty wicked. Like, I didn't even think about that. So definitely moving in. Love the game, love the puzzles, love the action. I mean, like the dialogue alone. I mean, if you could pick that game up and just listen to everyone, they have some of the best voice acting in the game ever. We ran into like a goat guy too. It was funny because the goat guy reminded me very much of like um, what's his name? Basically like the old man from Zelda. Where he's like, now I need 3 of these and 2 biscuits, and I'll make you a sandwich. And it's like, I don't need a sandwich. I just need the key to get into this bill. Well, once you eat the sandwich, you'll be transported to a level where you'll need 16 other. God damn it, I'm dead. So it's pretty good. I'm still liking it though.
Very, very, very cool.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to bring over that one too. I'll bring over the Darksiders because it's definitely a quick game through. It definitely was going to remind you a lot about Zelda, but like with you having like that experience with it, you'd be like, oh, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it doesn't really like. I don't like. This is the thing I got really angry about is when people are like, they said this with the Okami game. They were like, if like when it was released for Nintendo, for the Nintendo Wii U or the Wii, people were just all like. They're like, if you're gonna copy Legend of Zelda, copy the good stuff, and I'm all like, if you play Okami, which again I highly recommend this game, Okami. If you have a PlayStation 3, you can download the HD version right now. I think it's like $20, well worth it. In fact, I say you should even be paying like $75 for this game.
Good lordy!
I was actually kind of angry with Capcom when they re-released it. I was really hoping they would release it on disc and in collector's edition and have like a statue of Ami that you would have gotten with it, but they decided not to. I'm really hoping they do another game, and even with like as much as I would love it to be on the PlayStation 4, even putting it on the Wii U with the gamepad and being able to draw stuff, I think would be phenomenal for it, but that's just me. But then again, I did say this a while ago, and then they ended up making the sequel for the 3DS, so it's kind of like Nintendo's listening, and I mean, that's the NSA. That's the NES. The NES is listening on us. But, yeah, I highly recommend it, but people were just all like, if you're gonna, and I'm like, it's a phenomenal game. They did take everything from the Zelda universe, incorporate it into the game. Like, it wasn't exactly the same, but it did have, like, you find 3 pieces of the sun shield, and your life goes up. You find ink block. Like, it's all that leveling up
like,
kind
it
of stuff.
Makes sense.
Like, it makes sense, like, all these different things, like, and it's just like, I'm like, I don't know, the boss battles were amazing, just like in Zelda. Like, you get a new, you'd learn something new, and then you'd use that against the next boss, and so on and so forth, and I mean, it was such a well, put together game that I was just so angry when they were just all like, if you're going to copy Zelda, might as well copy the good stuff. I'm like, you know what? Just blow me. Like, they're going to do that, I bet, when the next Zelda game comes out, the Dynasty Warrior-based one. They're probably, if you're going to do Dynasty Warriors,
you
even though it's like Dynasty Warrior people are working on that game. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do we got? What do we got for our character spotlight this week?
Actually, I wanted to change it up a little bit. I chose Newgrounds.
Yes, actually, I saw Newgrounds. I totally forgot about all those.
I mean, you think about like not only the games, but all the Flash animations. Like obviously, Alien Hominid started there.
That started there.
He did a whole bunch of other games like starting there. It's what I always forget about because I remember like not only was it a time of like the internet and like the first kind of like uncensorship, because I remember they had all kinds of games. They had like adult games and they had kid games, they had violent games, they had all kinds of stuff on that site. And then also, if you don't know what we're talking about, go to newgrounds.com. I think they have something called Classic View, and you can actually see what it used to look like way back in the day. And basically, you could just go on there and stuff. Now, the funny part about it is that it was right around the time of Flash, and it was right around the time of like still dial-up. Because I remember you could still have dial-up tones on your computer, but you could go to these sites like Newgrounds and actually play games. And it was actually interesting because the games were loading quick. You actually were very responsive, side scrollers. Like people were independent, making these Flash games, and it was really kind of like whoa. Like, and I remember like that was going in school. Like that was a big thing that they were pushing. Is like learn Flash, learn Flash, learn Flash.
I mean,
which is
prime
funny.
example. Look at Castle Crashers.
Oh yeah,
I mean that entire thing is basically just built off a Flash engine.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, it's beautiful. So definitely, if you haven't had a chance, if you don't know what we're talking about, I mean, it's just I remember my first time playing it. I remember I was in college when
it's actually where the Star Wars rap.
Yeah, the Star Wars rap battle comes from. Like a lot of these like very, I guess, poppy culture or more eclectic culture things we know about.
You know what I have to say? Newgrounds was probably our version, like the first interpretation of Reddit.
I agree. Yeah, because it was like
Um,
kind of like the go-to hub. Everyone knew about it.
And they just didn't have games. They had like a bunch of different like animations and stuff like that. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we got into, like Joe Cartoon. There was also
Oh yeah.
what was it, Thunder Skull and Raditz Skull or something
Yeah,
like that.
I remember I remember seeing Homestar Runner.
Yeah,
He
Homestar
kinda
Runner
bled
started
into
there,
that.
and then he got his own. So I mean, a lot of things. Like I would say before Reddit, there was Newgrounds. Now, if everybody wants to jump on my case and be like, "Yeah," feel free to tweet me
Actually,
at
because,
Stephen Mooney Jr. and I'll take your complaints there. Yeah, I remember using dial-up for that too. People don't know what dial-up is. People have it way too good.
people have not a lot of pants on, motherfuckers. So yeah, my character spotlight was Newgrounds because I thought like you just think about all these games that came out from there, all these like experiences, and like it's kind of neat because like you think about it now, like people can play. Well, actually, one of the coolest things I saw was like that game Reaper.
Yes.
It's now out for Xbox Live. It's now out for your Windows phones and your Windows.
Yeah,
everything.
it was
It's
out on.
for,
I think.
oh, yeah.
I think it was out for your phones, and then to begin
Yeah.
with, and then I just saw it on Xbox, PlayStation.
And that was like Alien Hominid. Part an example was it was out on Newgrounds forever, and then
Mhm.
out of nowhere, like it was like coming to the GameCube, and it was like, oh my goodness, like he
Yes.
finally did. And then after that, they just like went.
Yeah, they released it on the like I have it for the 360. It's funny because
Oh,
it's a freaking hard game though.
Oh yeah.
But it's you beat the. What's the cool part is the reason why I downloaded it is because I downloaded Castle Crasher, and then my buddy Josh Treadwell, which actually I got to get in contact with him. He's been talking about this new thing for gaming. He actually has a test thing for it because he did like the Kickstarter campaign. Like he paid into it and got something for it. He's gonna bring it over. We're gonna test it out, and then we're gonna have him on the show. We'll talk about it. It's like these visor goggle kind of things.
Oh yeah,
He was showing me videos and talking about
Oculus.
it. Yeah, the Oculus.
They've been
he was
talking
talking
about
about
that, yeah.
how cool it was. So I'll get in contact with him probably for next week's show. See if he's available and wants to come down and join us. And would probably sit down, try it out, and get our opinions on it. But
Sweet.
yeah, he was the one. Yeah,
See if it's gonna be just as good as virtual Nintendo.
a lot better. But Josh Treadwell, though, great buddy of mine from high school. Like he was my go-to for games. That's where like I literally was working at his father's company, and he would come in and be like, "Oh, you got to find out about Left 4 Dead." I'm like, "What is Left 4 Dead? Like, what is this? What?" Huh?
Yeah.
And then it's because I wasn't really that big. I mean, it was really before social media kicked off at that time. There wasn't. I mean, there was Facebook and Twitter, but it wasn't really as big as it is now, where you can get kind of all your like news just like directly onto your phone and all that kind of great stuff. I know, kids, you're like, you lived in the dark ages. I like how I can record everybody as kids now. Come on, kiddos. Come on.
Name about it.
But yeah, he was the one to talk. He was like, yeah, if you get the Alien Hermitage, you can play the first level, and then you can play as that character in Castle Crasher just by unlocking it. So they did kind of like a deal with that. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. But yeah, if you don't know, go check out Newgrounds. It's still available. We'll definitely throw the link up when the show airs. So check it out.
I think what we'll do too is maybe during this week we'll kind of choose a couple games that we've played or liked and see if they're still on the site, and if we still, we'll advertise those because there's a few.
Now this has been blowing up on the internet everywhere. Like as soon as January hit, I've just been seeing more and more and more articles about pretty much Nintendo struggling.
And it actually was funny too because I was talking about getting a Wii U. I tried to convince somebody to get me one.
Even Matt Hines, he even said with his tax return he's going to buy a Wii U.
That's kind of what
So
I'm
it's
thinking
like,
too, because I was like, well, I'm gonna get like $885 back. I could probably buy one just for $300, and then gradually like buy a game here and there, like as they, as I can go. And then when I was talking about it, even she had said, well, I saw an article that it was not doing well, and I looked at her like, what are you talking about? Like, it's doing just fine. But like you said, this week, what we're talking about, in case you don't know, Nintendo Wii U, they were talking about how their income has plunged about 30%.
Yes.
During this quarter. Like their sales weren't as good as they thought, and I think it's just due to lack of marketing. I really didn't see a lot of Wii U commercials as much as I had wanted. Like we found those ones with those people online.
Yeah, there was a lot of YouTube commercials and a lot of like web advertisements. I'm guessing they don't cost that much, but it wasn't really like in your face.
I mean, like, get a Wii U now for $300.
The only thing I saw during the holiday season was basically the Wii U just advertising for Super Mario 3D World, which again that did spike its sales. And yeah, like I know Nintendo's struggling right now, but it's also due to the fact that I think a lot of people have just kind of thrown Nintendo to the wayside after the Wii. Because literally everybody who owns a Wii pretty much had bought it and played maybe Wii Sports, and they really didn't do too much with it. Like I don't see too many people actually were like talking, raving about the Wii. And I like the Wii. I thought it was a good system. Yeah, there were some games that were just kind of like, oh, why do we have to put everything in these stupid controllers and stuff like that? But But yeah, the Wii U, I guess, is just not doing well. I mean, I love it. I mean, I even sold a couple, not personally, but I talked about it so much that some people bought it over the holiday system, like my buddy Chris Murray, who was on Socially Awkward a while back, maybe a couple of weeks ago. He ended up getting one and stuff, but I mean, I love it, so and I don't think that's the thing. I don't think this is gonna kill Nintendo. It might prompt them to release a brand new system maybe sometime sooner than they planned.
I think, yeah, here's the thing too, what's funny is so basically Xbox One and PlayStation have each sold about 3 million units to 402 million units. Wii has actually also sold 9 million units, of which they had forecasted this first quarter to only about 3 million, which I still think is pretty good considering the other systems that are out. They still did about 3 million. I love what they did is all their top officials took a pay cut. They said, you know what, fine, we didn't do a good job promoting it. We're going to all take a pay cut.
Yeah.
We're going to push it even further. And the best news that I think I heard, and this is something I had been talking about for years, I thought if they were smart, this is how Nintendo would do just fine. And that news has come out where Nintendo has confirmed it. News came out earlier, and it was Kotaku talked about it, IGN talked about it, and I kind of was like, that's a made-up story. It's the same as Lex Luthor's going to be, James Jameson.
We'll get to that.
We'll get that on the long boxcast. But yeah, so they were kind of what's it called? They were kind of rumoring it.
Yeah.
But Nintendo confirmed it. Nintendo has confirmed that they will be releasing content for mobile games.
Yes.
They're going to have games that could be part of it. They're not sure if they're going to do it where you're it'll be a Nintendo app, and if you're a Nintendo Club owner, you can log in and play games off of that, or if they're going to be specifically releasing titles for phones. We're not sure how that's going to work, but definitely they are saying they're in the running of lurking into it. And it makes sense because if you think about it, the Wii U is basically like a mobile.
Yes.
It's just a giant mobile that's plugged in at home, but you basically are already getting the use of mobile gaming.
And they even also came out this year. They also talked about shortening the loading time, which is kind of cool. A new feature they're going to do with the Wii U pad. They're like, why don't we use this pad to its full potential? And like I said, it took them a year. I would say the system's been out fully for a year now, and then they're like, okay, this is the stuff we can do, and all this kind of great, innovation. One of the things they talked about, they're going to bring DS games to download and play on your gamepad, and I was like, perfect idea. So I mean, Nintendo, like I said, they're always ahead of the curve. I always don't cast them out. Like I said, I love Xbox and I love PlayStation 3, but for some strange reason, the rumor and the meme has come out there that everyone's like PS4 is better, Xbox One is better. It's basically there's this meme going around where someone has drawn Firefox and Google Chrome fighting like little kids, and then basically it's Internet Explorer in the corner eating paste, people turn that around, made Nintendo in the corner eating paste. And I hate to break it to everybody, but as much as you want to count Nintendo out, if it wasn't for Nintendo, half of these because Nintendo took a chance. Nintendo was the only company, they were actually started out with game cards, like physical playing cards, and then they decided to go, let's try to make a home console. This is the first to ever do this. I mean, think about Atari. Yeah, Atari came out, but Atari didn't have the games for it. Nintendo actually made these innovations.
Well, that was the other problem is not only did Atari not have the games for it, but they had so many games for it that were so poorly done that actually was starting to they were the first to have a rising video games and a decline. And literally games basically almost went the way of the wayside come to 86 because the graphics were so horrible.
Yeah.
And games were so horrible that when Nintendo came through and released games like Mario and all these big Zeldas and these very graphical, fun, innovative, oh, cool, look, items I can pick up, things I can do with inventory, all these things that really made the games fun. The industry is what it is now.
Yeah, so
without a Nintendo,
like I said, it's as much as everyone wants to bash Nintendo and say, oh, Nintendo's out and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, if it wasn't, it's kind of like most of those bands.
See, what I look at it is that those two kids fighting, I actually look at it, it is PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 fighting over the fact that Nintendo's smart enough to sit on the sidelines eating paste because they had the titles. Nobody else had titles at the time, so they're busy fighting get Assassin's Creed for us. No, get Assassin's Creed for us. And we use you can get Assassin's Creed for us, and look at all these other great titles.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
original titles.
I mean, Nintendo has all these games. Literally, a Zelda game is going to come out for the Nintendo Wii U, and I'm not going to be surprised when the spikes go up, and things like. I mean, heck, a lot of people are going to be buying their Wii U's this year just because of the Super Smash Bros. game.
Now, to be honest, too, the Nintendo handheld market has skyrocketed.
Oh yeah,
this
that's
year.
been
14
phenomenal.
million units sold this year alone with like all the DS games.
And what
3DS
did
games.
PlayStation do to combat that? They go, okay, well, our Vita sales aren't doing
so
that
they
well, so
lowered the
now
price.
they're not only lowering the prices, but now they're releasing games.
All these games are finally coming out
for the Vita,
which they should have done officially.
Well, you know why? Because they're looking at Nintendo going, Nintendo does this all the fucking time. Nintendo has released They released Donkey Kong for the for the Wii. Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, like probably 2007 or something like that, 7 or 8. And then just last year they did the same game, put 3D on it and released it for the DS, and they sold it again.
Yeah,
and
to
be honest, I liked to play it on the DS because there wasn't any shaking or any of this kind of stuff that you had to do, and it was just like, all right, this is fun. I ended up beating it on the DS than I did on the Wii. So it's like Nintendo has done this before, where they've taken a game and they go, let's revamp it and throw it on this. Let's do this and put it on that. They did that with the Game Boy Advance. They freaking took old Mario titles. Super Mario Advance 3, and it was like Super Mario, World 1 or something like that. So,
and if you want, I'll jump ahead a little bit. If you guys are still questioning about getting a Wii U, you're not sure about it, in 2014 they have a game coming out. And I found out about this game just randomly. I was looking for stuff on the Wii U. I was searching about stuff. Something came out about, look at the slick animation on a different article, and someone had posted a link like, you think that's slick? Check this out. And they posted a link to this YouTube video. We'll post it on our page the day the show launches so you guys can enjoy it. What I'm referring to is a game from Monolith Software called X. Simply right now, it's just called X. It's coming for the Wii U. You can find that. I think, Steve, if you want to see it, it actually should be... Oh, I don't have it in here.
Yeah,
let me attach it right now. Yeah, I thought I put it in here. But I'll attach the notes for Steve so you can see it. He'll play a little bit of it. But basically, it's... Here you go. You see the next thing I just posted?
Yeah.
Basically, it's by Monolith Software. And the best way I can describe it... and I think you can see it on our Facebook page as is right now. I think I already have it on there. The best way I can describe it is like if you combined Monster Hunter, Gundam, Xenoblade, or the Xenogear Saga.
Oh, wow.
Music by the original creator of Metal Gear, and also the original art director of a few other projects that you might have known of. You get a game like this. And this game basically is probably the reason why I will beat people up to get a Wii U.
Oh, wow. This looks phenomenal. And this is just a teaser trailer.
This is just the teaser. But this is gameplay. This isn't even stock footage. And the way you can tell is so it opens up, right? You see the person walking. Then watch when you see him walking in the world. And you tell me if you see any difference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's got everything in a game you could imagine. Yeah, it's like Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy, Gundam. Oh, shit, Transformers?
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. Okay, fuck you, all the other systems. I'm glad I got my... This is awesome looking.
Yeah. It just looks beautiful. And this is only coming for the Wii U, so...
See, that's the other thing. We'll definitely post this up. This looks phenomenal. Okay, that's the other thing. And then also another thing
Co-op
is everybody else loved the game Bayonetta. Okay, everybody loved Bayonetta. They thought it was a great game. It was pretty much kind of like a female version of Devil May Cry. A lot of people played it, loved it, and stuff like that. Didn't make the sales, and guess what? Xbox and PlayStation were like, all right, well, we're not doing another one of these. Nintendo was the only ballsy company to go, this game did really good.
We're going to take it.
We're going to take it, and that's why they got the exclusive Bayonetta 2.
And I guarantee it did really well.
It hasn't even come out yet.
That's why how good it's done. Pre-orders are doing
But what's going to happen, I guarantee you, this game's going to come out. People are going to go ape shit over it. I still got to play the first one. I played the demo, and I actually really enjoyed it, so I do want to pick it. It's
basically I think they said if you like the Devil May Cry saga, it has that.
Yeah, because she's like a witch. It's kind of like it plays off of that where it's like he's like half demon, half angel. She's like a witch and stuff like that. Wouldn't even surprise me if they try to do a team up later on or something like that,
DMC
which would be
Bayonetta.
amazing. In fact, since you do have the exclusion. You do have the exclusive for this. I would throw her in Smash Bros. Then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she's the exclusive for them. Yeah. Why not?
Why not? So again, you just heard me say that. So if it comes out that she's in the game, Miyamoto owes me $1.
Yeah, $1.
With a face.
I don't know why he's Spanish all of a sudden.
Oh, the peso.
Pesos.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are going to see this game and just get blown away, and then people are going to be like, and I guarantee it, then it'll be like only for the Wii U, and then probably 2 years later, Xbox One and PlayStation 4 will be like, we want Bayonetta 2 now. So it's like,
exactly.
I mean, that's what I don't get. It's like, don't throw Nintendo under the bus yet. Don't just call them out. And I mean, after seeing that game, I'm just like, I'm glad I bought my Wii U when I did. So.
Exactly. So definitely this is one that I would highly recommend checking out. The only other news I really found this week is finally they've announced, Amazon leaked it, the special edition of the Elder Scrolls Online.
Indeed.
They finally announced what it comes with. They have a photo of it. If you click the link, it's basically Kotaku just shows the regular photo of it. Giant statue. Now they also had a new trailer come out this week showing you more of the game. Basically, if you've seen the first trailer, basically it was just showing the three factions fighting each other, them walking in a circle at the end, and then showing the Elder Scrolls symbol about the wolf, the head, this head, that head. So this one kind of picks up right where we left off. It shows the three, they start fighting one another, they start charging on one another, both the warriors doing something, the spellcasters doing some things like that. Then out of nowhere, sky opens up, monsters are coming down. There's a whole nother element of the game that it shows fighting. Mm-hmm. And all I could think about while watching this, I'm like, World of Warcraft. Because World of Warcraft was a game about two factions fighting.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you had the Forsaken or the, whoever they were that came down, like the Demon Lords and all these other people coming down. And then you teamed up together and you fought So right away I was like, well, this is just a freaking retelling of, a World of Warcraft experience. So it kind of ruined it for me because I haven't been enjoying the beta. I've told them too, reasons why, and like I said, if you're an MMO fan and a Skyrim fan, you'll probably like it, especially if you're more of an MMO fan. But if you're a huge Skyrim fan, Skyrim to me, I didn't even bother with Oblivion, and now I want to go play Oblivion after playing this, because of all the lore and stuff that's in this game. And I did play Morrowind, and you talking about Daggerdale and all these other ones, definitely
Daggerdale.
My name is Daggerdale. Copenhagen. Daggerdale.
We still gotta. That's gonna be the. You know what? Actually, I just realized with Copenhagen, we should just make that one of those point and click games.
Oh yeah, ding, 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 detective, and it's coffee.
Yeah.
Cigarette. But yeah, so that'd be actually pretty fun. I'd like that game. But yeah, so if you're a fan of those, you'll probably like this game. I'm not really impressed. And then after seeing the new trailer, I was very much it's nothing new. It's nothing that you haven't.
Yeah, I'm actually watching right now.
I thought if they had stats of if you were let's say you were the blue, red, or gold or whatever their teams or their lands are, I'd actually like to see where you can get on servers where maybe the yellow is owning, they're taking over land, which is then affecting the economics and the tides of war and the things you can get. So you have to either try to play the factions appropriately to try and get what you want. If you want more spellcasters, maybe they only come from one area, this or that. I thought something like that would have been cool, would have kind of changed it up, but...
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I'm watching the trailer right now, and as soon as you said World of Warcraft, and I remember that trailer where it had the two guys fighting. It was the orc and the human. They're going at, they're battling, and all of a sudden, then you see this meteor come flying down from the sky and crash, and they both kind of stand and look, and it was the new expansion pack for World of Warcraft or whatnot. And yeah, right when you said that, don't get me wrong, graphics look phenomenal. I'm pretty sure the game's gonna be great.
Yeah, and it was fun to play. I did enjoy running around doing stuff, but at the same token,
I'm just all
it's an MMO.
I know it's gonna be an MMO, and I know it's probably. Don't get me wrong, it's probably gonna make all the money it needs to do in the world, and everyone's going to be excited about it and all that great stuff. But right when you said that, it's kind of hopefully you guys give us a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, I love the Skyrim games. I've grown up on the Skyrim games. Some people they're I played. Half the time, most of the people's first Skyrim game was or not Skyrim, but Oblivion game was probably. I would say either... Yeah,
because Morrowind was on the Xbox and actually got a bad review because of the handheld controls.
I would say Morrowind, because PC and Xbox it came out for, or possibly Oblivion.
Oblivion, I think, is the one
but a
really
lot of
people
because I'll mention Daggerfall, and some people are what is that? I'm like, oh God.
Yeah,
that was my first introduction to
it was where Daggerdale lived.
Yeah, Daggerdale. Hey, Daggerdale!
Don't pay attention to Dale. He's just...
come on, I'm going to help you. I'm going to save the king.
Oh no, I should have known.
I turned into Bill Cosby at night. Rudy, we need to find the Elder Scrolls and shut the gates of Oblivion. Okay, so we'll grab a horse, and then I'll become a ghost dad, and then we'll fly.
Indeed,
go, zip zap, bibbity pop, so. Yeah.
But the expansion looks good. This pack looks good. It comes with art book, comes with a map, comes. with...
Bethesda now with the they're gonna be all next DLC, Ghost Dads.
But the statue looks kind of neat. But again, like the statue shows like some kind of demon thing holding a person, so it's like okay, they're definitely going that
I
route.
mean, don't get me wrong.
Which is
probably,
cool. So tying into maybe Oblivion, maybe it's going to tie into something like that. But again,
see, that was the thing. Like, as much as I love Skyrim with the dragons, I'm like, I really hope they go back into like the Gates of Oblivion.
And what I
that
liked
was
about
really
Skyrim
cool.
for me is like then I'm running into all these gods you come in contact with, and I ran into a guy who was in Daedric armor.
Yeah.
And then even that one guy, I got that Maroon's blade, and then like right after I killed the guy, like then he summoned some guys at me, and I was like, what the hell? It's these Daedras that I'm like, what is this all about?
Yeah.
But had I played Oblivion, I probably would have known all these characters.
I will say this: you playing Skyrim, and then actually, yeah, if you want to borrow Oblivion, because I could just let you borrow that. But I will say this: get ready for going like, okay, you have to really just kind of take your mindset off of Skyrim and literally go, okay, this is all brand new because like the control scheme's completely different. Everything's just you're gonna see how bad like you're like the graphics aren't like the greatest.
Yeah, I noticed because I saw like what would happen was that everyone kept advertising Oblivion. So I went to like if you go to the Gamers Marketplace on Xbox and I looked and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're like basically like GameCube graphics.
Well, it's like when the system first came out.
And I was seeing like some of the flaws in it where I'm like, but again.
And then every time you level up, you have to go to bed.
Yeah, which is what Morrowind was.
Yeah, I did.
And that's what happened to me too, because like Morrowind, I was an Argonian. I remember going into town, stealing everything, running up to the hill, because you had to watch a guy. Like one of the quests was like you had to watch a guy go and put to like this little stump, take the items out of the stump and either return them or keep them and things like that. And I remember I ran up this windmill or something. I killed everybody in there, which I wasn't supposed to do. Killed everybody and they ran up to this top. And then I just was trying to get my archer skill up. So all I was doing was like every time you did something, you would go up.
Yeah.
So jumping.
Yes.
Got my athletics up. So I had like I got my acrobatics just by sitting there jumping, which I'm like, this is great. So because I had to wait for this guy to show up. So by the time the guy shows up, and I was killing people with arrows, just waiting for this. Like literally, this character is walking to the stump. I'm shooting guards. I'm doing whatever. Get him. I get into the river. That's one thing I liked about it. I can go in the river and just swim. And of course, all the fish were in there, so I kept swimming past them. So I escape, and then finally, like I found this like little cottage or something on the bank. I go in, I sleep in the guy's bed. I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna sleep now. And when I woke up, all of a sudden it was like, you are level 9. And I'm like, what the heck? And like then I was like, it was amazing.
I was at like level 4. And then I did like the Shimmering Isles. I did like all these side quests and stuff like that. And I was just like, how come I'm not leveling up? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
with this?
Like, what is this?
And then finally I slept because I'm like, my life is really down. And it's all like, bleeding. And then like by the time I was done, it's all like level 27. I was like, what the hell? So it was like all this stuff.
And it makes sense because eventually it tells you like you need rest. Like that's what they finally like included, because they didn't do that in Morrowind. Morrowind was just kind of like you fell asleep and then all of a sudden you were like,
so it's funny.
Oh,
I mean like I'm probably not gonna ever get rid of the game. I don't know if I'll revisit it, but since like I have all the achievements now, so I'm like, if you want to play it.
Well, did you hear about
the only thing you won't have with it is the Shivering, because I downloaded that stuff, but
what's really neat too is they have a what's it called? Some people are building the Morrowind based on the Skyrim stuff. They're recreating all of Morrowind in like the Skyrim engine.
Can you guys stop that and do Daggerfall?
Yeah,
what I want you to do, this is what I want.
Daggerfall.
I want Daggerfall. This is what I want. I want Daggerfall.
Yeah, your quest is where's Daggerdale?
Yeah, no. What I want for Daggerfall is I want, give me Skyrim graphics, okay, but keep everything the same. Every glitch, because that's what made the game to me, okay? And still, no one has ever beaten my record for the most time spent in jail, and has never been banned from the town Daggerfall,
which is basically where everything is.
Everything is. So I still hold the record to this day.
So when you would go in, would they just attack you?
Yeah, right. I would climb the wall, and then it'd be like, hold, because that's what the guards would say or whatnot, and like I would be slaughtering. Because what I did is I used to go to different towns, slaughter a bunch of people, and then just jump on my boat.
Yeah, see ya.
And be like, bye. That's the cool part. You get a boat, you get like a house, all this kind of stuff. And then what ended up happening is I went to Daggerfall, finally got caught. And then they put me in jail for all this time, and then they were like, and now you're banished from the town of Daggerfall. And I was all like, bullshit. So every time I would go there, the gates would be closed. Like, I couldn't get in there. So I always have to climb, which was funny. You could actually climb, like, buildings and stuff like that. And so I'd always have to climb. As soon as you touch, like, that piece of that thing, it was just like, hold, like, all these guards. And then I would just slaughter a bunch of them and just run around the town like, oh, my God. So, and then Patrick, who actually beat the game Daggerfall. That's actually how I learned how to play it. Of course, if you want to know Pat, check out All White Tukey on the 4i Radio Network. But Pat, he got Daggerfall, and we played the hell out of the game. We just loved it so much because there's so much things you could do in that game. Like, it really was limitedness, just like the fun. It was basically
anything you could think of.
It was basically like your very first Grand Theft Auto experience, where it's all like you could do all these side missions, but then you just ran around and just did whatever you want. Like, we figured out how to steal stuff from the stores. We just found out like all these things, and then Pat finally was like, "Oh yeah, I figured out how to beat the game and stuff like that." So it was just funny, and then it was really great because then at night in Daggerfall you'd hear the ghost of the king who was murdered, and he'd always say like, when we first heard it. He's actually saying vengeance, but when I first heard it, I was all like, I thought he said, "I want lunch." And we're like, what? So I forget what different stuff, but yeah, definitely Daggerfall. If I get my hands on a copy of Daggerfall right now, I'd be in a world of fun.
Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 2, I read an article and they were showing like the top 12 games you can get for the Wii U. Talked about Mario, Pikmin, the Zombie U. They talked about all these things about how the game's really good. One of the best games right now out for it, if you have it, is City Undercover.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Lego game.
Oh yeah,
where you play as like a detective. You're like this cop detective who's running around. Chase McCann is your name, and it's basically like a take on the cop movies.
Yes.
Where it's like a lot of action. But they said actually if you look at it from an outside perspective, because literally you can commandeer any vehicle, you can do all this stuff. It's literally a GTA but with Legos, because you can do whatever you want, take whatever vehicles you want to do any of your missions.
Yeah, that was a game
anywhere.
I wanted to pick up for the Wii U, but I just never got around to it.
So they're saying like now I guess it's a lot cheaper, and definitely you should pick it up because it's very much like you'll have fun because it's that kind of game. It looks good too. Like I'm just looking at a couple clips here, and it looks pretty funny.
I guess we'll have to pick that up sometime and
co-op. Yeah, it looks like that's the only thing they say. There's no co-op in it, but one of the best things in it is like the different characters you can play as. Like one of the guys here is like this like biker-looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a tattoo on his arm and stuff, but it's like the Lego guy, so it's just pretty funny.
No, yeah. When I saw the previews for it looked really good and really great, like really well done, put together, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just so many things out there. But yeah, it's funny. I'm starting to believe that our show has become 90 degrees to Oblivion, because that's all we just went back to, this whole kind of.
Hey, if you play Lego Cop game, it's also got Oblivion.
What else do we got going on here in the game?
If you want, we can skip the video game releases right now and go right to some gaming question we had.
Well,
that's
what we usually do. I don't do the questions.
I don't always work on it.
I don't use it until the end of the show. So, but yeah, let's go ahead. Let's. So what was the question we put out there? We put.
This one was if any arcade unit you could own in your home, which and why, and like we were going to give it a shout out. And actually, we got a couple responses from Cinema OTR on Twitter, and also at NeoGeo gave us a shout out. As well. Steve, how about you? Like, if you could own an arcade unit, I'm talking full scale arcade unit. Like, what would you want?
I would have to go with Turtles in Time.
That is
like
pretty cool.
I would love to just have
that full on.
And the one I would want is basically kind of like it's like built like the old X-Men style one, where it actually had like the kind of 3 screens.
Oh yeah.
And then 4 people can jump in. I mean, that would just be fantastic. I mean, I've always like. We actually talked about this. Kyle and I I would love to open an arcade bar. Where
Hell
it's literally
yeah.
like it's for adults. It's got old classic arcade games. People can have drinks, food and stuff like that. But it's just like I know Dave and Buster has that, but I'm talking about like
full scale, just old school.
I'm talking about like old school arcades. You can even go to the point where you can even have kind of like those old consoles set up too, where it could be like a Nintendo in a case, and then if people want games, you kind of set it up where they can select the game they want, and they can play like just on an old school Nintendo or even Sega Genesis and all this kind of stuff. Like a really like kind of kick-ass old school. Like I know there's one in New Jersey, I forget what it's called, that's like that, where it has like old school games where you could literally be like, hey, I want to play Super Mario Brothers, and you pop it into the Nintendo and you play, and you get like so many passes for the day or whatnot, like so many hours to play. But yeah, I think that would be great for people. I mean, that was the weird part about GameWorks is like when I went there a little bit older, like probably maybe in my teens, we upstairs they closed down because there's a bar upstairs, but upstairs has all the old arcade games. I was like, I want to play Frogger, I want to play Donkey Kong, I want to play all these kind of old arcade games. And it's like I couldn't, and it's like I didn't even want to go up there and drink. I'm like, I just want to play games. So it was just kind of like, damn. But yeah, so I mean, and that's the greatest part, because then we can just do live podcasts from the Arcade Bros bar.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here's we are live at Arcade Bros.
We'll call it Arcade bar.
Oh, arcade bars.
Arcade.
I've had one in my. I have a game, not a game doc, but I have a business plan that I always write up when I'm thinking of businesses.
Indeed.
And actually, I did come up with an arcade, and I actually called it just Arcadia.
Mm.
And that way, it was just all about arcades and like buying. Like basically, my dream is to basically like make my games, get money, and then have the ground floor be an arcade, and then the upstairs just be the business. So that way, you have like kind of like a dual business going on. But for me, the game that I probably would have chosen is I think you remember it, Jurassic Park for the
with Sega Genesis
Panic
created it?
Adventure. Yeah, it was like the 2-person ride game where you sat in a little booth and like I remember they had a curtain you could draw because it was like private time because you're about to be like
We're
wowed.
gonna make out now.
Yeah, but it really, literally, yeah.
Dude, shoot the thing!
Shoot
Stop
the
sucking
thing.
my dick!
Yeah.
We just turned Jurassic Park, or as we like to call it, BJ Park.
BJ Park, I guess. Yeah. Well, the version I'm seeing on this, yeah, because it's like shoot everything. Like I'm watching a YouTube video. I can't wait to. I'll post this because it's hilarious. Because you had the 1-player bar and the 2-player bar.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Time Cop and like also.
Yeah, it was basically like you fired and then
like
when you
House
go
of the Dead. Yeah, you had to go off to the side to
everything.
reload. And you just had to shoot at everything that was coming at you, and the game itself would move. And like right now, it's like they're showing the T-Rex chasing you. You have to shoot his head and stuff before he bit you. I remember like you would ride by and like you'd see the creatures running in the.
Yeah, you see people, or you'll even see some guy like, oh help, and he's like getting attacked, and you have to try to save him, and then you get like a life thing back. Like I mean, basically, that's what the thing with Sega. Sega's always made great arcade games.
Yeah, and this arcade game looks wicked. And I remember how cool it was too, just like watching all the stuff. The Raptors coming at you. I remember like the glass breaking on the screen and stuff because you're supposedly in the car.
That's what I thought that Nintendo missed out on with they can even do it with the Wii U now because you can use the old school controllers. Like the Wiimotes and everything like that. I'm like, why not make these kind of corridor shooting games for that,
I'm laughing because like you're now like you ran away from the T-Rex and like now there's these piles of rocks that are in your way, so you're shooting at them. But as you start shooting at them, all of a sudden these 2 raptor heads just go like rah down the side. The guy shoots them both, but it's just like it's pretty funny to see him just like how ridiculous it is. Giant rocket.
Yeah, that would actually be a fun one.
Yeah, because now you're like in the glade. Like you remember this thing?
Yeah, I remember all that.
You're just like wee 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 wee. It's hilarious. Yeah, look at them all. Wee wee wee. Oh god, he ran over one. But yeah, so that would be my choice for games. The answers we got though, Cinema OTR had mentioned he had 2 answers. The first one was Burger Time, just because of the nostalgia.
I remember that. Yeah.
He spent many hours playing this box arcade at the bar as a little kid, which is like it's cool. Like you think of, he brings back the memory too. And then one that he actually brought up was Narc. He says it also was nostalgia. Spent ages playing it at a regular arcade, and then he used to be able to beat it on 1 quarter on a good day. Like you'd actually put in 1 quarter and actually get all the way through, which is actually that's pretty impressive. And then
that's pretty impressive.
And prime example, at Neo Geo said, if I could, TMNT Turtles in Time, 4-player cabinet, Capcom versus SNK is another one of his, and of course House of the Dead 4.
Yeah, there you go.
My favorite was House of the Dead 3 because it had the giant sloth monster, which I thought was hilarious.
I hated House of the Dead 3, not because of the gameplay, it was because of the shotgun.
Yeah, it was so stupid. You had to keep pumping it.
It was like,
where I like the other one, you could just be like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, it was just like bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.
I did like the third one though because it was like the girl and the old professor, but just like you had this giant like sloth creature as like the first boss fight, and it's funny because at first he's like slow moving. I'm like, oh, the poor zombie sloth, and you shoot at him, you're like, oh, I hate doing this, and then like he's chasing you up an elevator just like really fast, like, and there's nothing more scarier than seeing like a fast moving giant sloth like coming at you.
I'll tell you this, kids.
Yeah.
I've been in wars. I've been in Vietnam. But there's nothing fucking scarier than a damn sloth monster.
Giant slothy.
Climbing up an elevator shaft. I'm too old for this
shit.
Quick,
let's escape into the Jurassic Park blow machine.
Yeah. The Jurassic Park blow machine is a...
Yeah.
Oh, Axel. I'm too old for this shit.
Quit watching.
Yeah, quit watching, Eddie Murphy. Your movies are horrible now. I'm too old for this shit.
You're never too old to game.
Copenhagen. Well, I think that kind of wraps up the show.
Wraps it for me.
Well, I guess again, as always, Kyle, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me someplace, but you want to hit the games coming out?
Yeah, we could. I was just going to do
okay, we do that first. Let's do that, and then we'll end with us telling everyone where they can find us.
Well, I'll just put it this way.
It's like, where's Waldo? Like, where are we?
Where are we today, kids?
Exactly. In life, in general, in space, in time.
I don't know.
Pathos.
We have Bravely Default February 7th, so that's
For
actually
3DS.
next up for the 3DS.
Yeah, it's
So we
coming out
got Infamous
Friday.
Second Son, PS4, March 21st. Final Fantasy, have no idea when it's coming out, but it's coming out for the PS4.
So they say.
This is the online one. Destiny, Xbox One, PS4, PC coming out September 14th. And we have Final Fantasy X and X2 will come out March 18th, also for the Vita. We have Watch Dogs 1 for Xbox One, PS3, PS4, Wii U, Xbox 360, and PC. That's going to be decided. We also have Super Smash Bros. 4, which will probably be coming out in spring, I'm guessing.
That's kind of what I thought, too. Yeah, spring.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Tropic Freeze will be coming out February 21st. Kingdom Hearts 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 will be coming out hopefully sometime in 2014, but to be honest, I don't think it's coming out until probably maybe 2015 if we're lucky. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U will be due out this spring of 2014. Elder Scrolls Online is due out for April 4th. Wolfenstein New Order, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One to be decided as well. And also X for the Wii U 2014 to be decided. Again, check all your local video game news hub and stores for details on when these games are getting released, because again, things can be pushed back, held up, and not even get released sometimes. So don't take our words for us. Do your own goddamn research.
God damn it. Plus, just keeping posted as we get notice of things getting pushed back. We'll probably tell you, but yeah.
We're usually pretty good at updating
local
people.
listings for all the news.
We should do video game phone where people call in, what game would you like to know when's coming out?
The ending sucked.
Yeah.
That's all we'll do. The ending was really good.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. And Soviet Runner, a winner is you.
Where can they find you, Kyle?
Find me at Mooney Studios on Twitter. You can find me also on the web. Just search my name or basically Mooney Studios, and I come up all kinds of places.
All kinds of places.
You'll find me in Daggerdale.
That's going to be our spin-off series of
Yeah,
Copenhagen.
Daggerdale.
Or Daggerdale joins Copenhagen.
That's my guess.
We'll see what happens. Of course, you can find me at Stephen Mooney Jr. on Twitter. You can also find me at S. Mooney Jr. on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us and retweet us if you like at arcade_bros on the Twitter. You can also find us at arcade-bros.com, part of the 4i Radio Network. And don't forget to listen to all the other great shows that are soon to come to the network as we build and so forth and all that good stuff. So, again, this is Steve-O, Player 1, and
Kyle, Player 2.
telling you to keep on the gaming. This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.
I'm too old for this shit. No! Copenhagen.